How fast can you catch an entire box of shiny Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet? We all know catching shiny Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet can be a bit easy, but how fast is it really? Could you catch a full box of shiny Pokemon with ease? And how long would it realistically take? Well, today, that's what I'm looking to find out. I'm sure you've heard of a speedrun before, playing a game from start to finish as fast as you can. Well, besides that category, each game has its own subcategories of speedruns too. And I decided to make my own by creating my own category entirely dictated by RNG. Full box of shinies %. Just call me Summoning Salt because this is the world record history. And obviously I'll be using Herba Mystica for this since the whole idea is to catch shinies as fast as possible. And just to make things a little more interesting, I'm going to need to capture 30 unique shiny Pokemon. 30 shinies in one video? So we went over to our first outbreak, and before even making our first sparkling sandwich. Oh! Our first shiny is a nifty round boy, in just 2 minutes of playing. And after, there were 4 water type outbreaks on the map. So, we were going to the floaters next. First up, Weasel. So, we made our first sparkling sandwich, went over there, and after 10 minutes... Oh my goodness. And since I decided from this point on, with every shiny I find, I had to do something evil. Something truly sinister. Use the Quick Ball. Then, it was back to looking for the Weasel. But after finding 2 during the Alphabet Challenge, Shiny Weasel just didn't feel like making an appearance with the remaining 20 minutes of our sparkling water boost. And I really didn't feel like spending too much time at one particular outbreak, since those can really spiral out of control. So, if any hunt takes longer than 30 minutes, I'm going to move on. So I did, made a second sparkling water sandwich, and went over to a Dreadnought outbreak, which has a shiny that I really like. Fortunately, one showed up after just 10 minutes. That one looks darker. Something Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I booked it over to the third water outbreak of the day, and nothing happened. Ideally, since this is a speed run, it should be completed in one sitting. Well, I immediately followed this outbreak up by not playing for over a week. Oops. As an adult person, I have better things to do, such as not playing Pokemon for 8 or more hours in one day. Instead, so I can play Overwatch for 8 hours a day. So I guess technically this run is invalid, and instead it's going to be a segmented run, which in the end doesn't really matter since this is just meant to be a showcase of how fast you can really catch shiny Pokemon. Anyways, this is where it's gonna get a little spicy. When I came back, I decided to try my luck finding some shinies without an outbreak. Since I'm trying to find 30 different species of Pokemon shiny as fast as possible, I don't want to do just an isolated encounter. I want to go somewhere that has a bunch of Pokemon of the same type so I can hunt them all simultaneously. Well, one place to do that is right outside Medali. For some reason, there's a bunch of electric types that spawn there. You would think they would spawn near Lavincia, but nope. They just can't get enough of that Larry. Who can? There's Pikachu, and Smaller Pikachu, and Squirrel Pikachu, and Punchy Pikachu. Oh, and the blue balls. And I found all those in just one sandwich. A little unfortunate I wasn't able to catch a shiny Pikachu, since then I would have caught every electric type in the area shiny. But hey, 5 shiny Pokemon from a single sandwich? That's some crazy luck. Although, only one of the Voltorbs count towards our total of 30 based on the rules I put in place. Look at Blood. He thinks he's part of the team. But we're now up to 7 shinies in just over an hour and 30 minutes of looking. So let's follow it up with some more outbreaks. There's 2 normal type outbreaks on the map, so let's give those a whirl. After knocking out 60, we made our sandwich, and 10 minutes later, oh. So we rushed over to attempt the other outbreak, and oop, that one looks a bit different. Hey! 2 shinies about 3 minutes apart from each other, only taking up half our time for this boost. So I thought, well, there's no way I don't end up getting a third shiny. So I went deep underground, for just a chance at the exclusive 3-segment to Dunsparce. And yeah, that didn't happen. Also, something I forgot to mention earlier is that I might have to surprise trade all the shinies I find during this challenge. Because what's the fun of a challenge if there isn't some risk involved? So here's the plan. If I complete the challenge before the 8-hour mark, I win. But if it takes even a single second longer than 8 hours, I'll give away 5 shinies I find. If it takes 10 hours, then 10 shinies, and so on. Meaning, if it takes me 18 hours or longer to catch a box of shiny Pokemon, then I'll have to give away all 30 of them. Moving on, I went to another outbreak, this time for a Dragapult, and while I was knocking out 60, again before even getting to make a sparkling sandwich. Wait. Another shiny in about 5 minutes. And this time the quick ball kind of matches. My luck so far has been pretty amazing. Up to 10 shinies in about 2 hours and 15 minutes of playtime. Well, that was all about to change. We were about to hit our first spout of unluckiness. And by unlucky, I mean we went one sparkling sandwich without finding a shiny.
Why are you running?
Over in the laggy bamboo forest, there's 3 different fighting types you can encounter. So I made myself a second sparkling fighting sandwich, and a few minutes later, and a couple of minutes after that, yes! And with 21 minutes left, and only one shiny left in this area, I left, because there's a better spot to look for Phalanx. And not only does Phalanx have a great shiny, but it's just a funny guy. Well, I guess it's 5 guys. And lucky for us, we found all 5 guys. Oh, wait, oh! And somehow after finding 3 shiny Pokemon, there was still 10 minutes left of sparkling power. And next, I wanted to get one of the greatest Pokemon ever created. Unfortunately, that didn't happen though. But I'll take 3 shinies in 30 minutes. The next day, there were 2 more outbreaks for me to attempt. Bronzong, which shined after knocking out 60, and 2 minutes into our steel sandwich boost.
Is that?
And Fortress, which took much longer. A whopping 2 minutes and 30 seconds to shine.
Oh!
But if you know Fortress, you already know where this is going. Fortunately, that didn't happen, saving me from losing the remaining 25 minutes of sparkling power. And with those 25 minutes, there's so many steel types I could look for. The world is my cloister. Get it? My first stop would be a location that Lucario and Tinkatuff shared. And I was here for a little less than 10 minutes before this happened. Did you catch that? No? Let's keep going.
Oh no. Oh no. That looks like it was probably a shiny.
And that's because it was. The first shiny fail of the challenge. Yay! Surely this won't come back to bite me. We won't get stuck looking for just one shiny. So after failing that Tinkatuff, I was ready to move on from this area. I came here more so for the chance at a shiny Lucario, and the ratio of Lucario to Tinkatuff was like 1 to 30. So instead, I went over to the mines, because the children yearn for the mines, and also because there's a cute little elephant you can look for there. There's a couple other steel types here as well, but I was mostly here for the elephant. Oh! With that, we had 3 shinies from this sandwich, and 4 minutes left. So I quickly went to the desert for an Alaskan forward! I'm not expecting anything though, since we had such little...
Is that? Oh my god, there's no way.
Okay, well, with this much time, there's no way we found another...
Okay, I think our sandwich is done. Oh, still 8 seconds. Are you kidding me right now?
For the second time this challenge, 5 shiny Pokemon from a single sandwich. Except for this time, it was 5 unique shinies. And 6 if I didn't fail that Tinkatuff. I have never had luck this good from a sparkling sandwich. And next, I wanted to try my luck on Glacido Mountain with a sparkling ice sandwich, since there's about 1 million ice types there. But you know, since we just had some amazing luck, Now we had some not so amazing luck. A full 30-minute sandwich with no shiny. But the second sparkling ice sandwich, now that was a sandwich.
That one's different. Oh.
It's crazy because it seems like whenever there's some bad luck, it's immediately followed up by some of the most insane luck I've ever seen. And I wasn't done just yet either. I went back to Medali because there's even more Pokemon that can't get enough of this guy. But this time with a fighting sparkling boost. And within 3 minutes.
Oh!
His name will be Winton.
Hi there.
And check this out. Just fast forward a bit.
Oh my god. Oh my god, that's literally, what, 3 seconds later?
Another 2 shinies in such a short span. One being one of the greatest Pokemon of all time. Next I went back to the mines. This time for a hairy mama. And drove around for the remaining 26 minutes of our boost. Only to find a whole lot of nothing. But I can't complain after the luck I've been having. We were now onto the final line. 6 shinies left to go, in just 5.5 hours of total playtime. But if I didn't want to have to surprise trade any of these shinies away, I needed to get pretty lucky. So I followed up the hairy mama hunt by checking out 2 spooky outbreaks. 2 spoopy. After 15 minutes of killing ghosts, I made a Sammy, and 5 minutes after that,
Oh, yes.
which I followed up by going to the second outbreak, where something just a little unfortunate happened. You may be able to see where this is going based on the brightness of my game, but for those of you unaware, allow me to explain. You see, some Pokemon only spawn during certain times. Espeon only spawn during the day, and Umbreon only spawn during the night. And the outbreak I'm currently at happens to be one of those special Pokemon. Yes, even if there's an outbreak for a Pokemon, if they only spawn at night, they won't appear anymore if it turns to day. Now, normally this isn't an issue because I could just close out my game and change the time of day on my Switch, but since I just caught that Haunter a few minutes ago, I can't. If I close out my game, I lose the rest of my sparkling boost, and that still has 20 minutes on it. So, new plan. Leave this outbreak and go to the beach to look for a haunted sandcastle. I mean, no. Go to this cave and make Sableye fall out of the wall. And when both of those don't work, I don't know, cry, I guess? Losing that Mischievous outbreak really put me out of my rhythm, but we didn't have time to dwell on that. We need to move on to the swamp, where, with a poison sandwich, you can find a couple different Pokemon, but also Snick. So, that's what I did, or at least that's what I tried to do. Nothing shined after 30 minutes, so I tried again, and after another 15 minutes, nothing. A full hour of sparkling power, and not one shiny. The first time that's happened during this challenge. It's Jover. So it was time for a change of scenery. Right next to Levincia, there's just a tiny space where some other poison types spawn. Grimer and Marini. And just about 5 minutes later... Ooh. We're so Barack, but nothing else. At least this little unlucky streak was over. And look at that, it's nighttime again. So I went straight back to the Mischievous outbreak to get some revenge. And then I stopped playing, only to come back the next day, and yeah, obviously the Mischievous outbreak was gone. But in some crazy turn of events, there was now a Miss Magius outbreak occurring. So I went over there, KO'd 60, made another spooky sandwich, and then the sun started to rise again. But this time... and I had another 20 minutes on my boost. So I again attempted to find a Sandygast and Sableye. And yeah, that didn't end up happening. Again, Sag. What wasn't Sag though, is what happened next. I went to the Team Star Fairy base and made a sparkling grass sandwich. You could tell it's a grass sandwich because lettuce. And in this area, there's so many different grass types. And soon after... Oh! And not even a minute after that.
Is that a shiny? Oh my god!
Now we just had a single shiny left to find. And all these grass types got me thinking about one specific shiny. You see, right before I started recording footage for this video, I ran across a shiny Hoppip. Well, to be honest, it ran across me. And I contemplated if I should include it because I wasn't recording at the time. Eventually I decided against it. And I also just closed out my game without catching it by accident. So, whoops. But now I want it back. Therefore, the final target of the day is the Pinwheel hat. So, with the final 15 minutes on the grass boost, I booked it over to a location for an isolated encounter of Hoppip. And, didn't find it.
No.
But I made a second sandwich. And 15 minutes after that...
Yes!
With that, we have now completed the challenge. 30 shiny Pokemon captured as fast as possible.
Very fast.
But the real question that has to be answered now, how long did it take? And remember, if it was over 8 hours, then I have to give away some shiny Pokemon. Well, fortunately, no shiny Pokemon have to be surprise traded away. Not for me though, I need to do some trades. Because it took 8.5 hours to catch all 30 shiny Pokemon. Definitely a respectable speedrun if I say so myself. And maybe I can try this again at some point, but in one sitting. Feel free to try out this challenge for yourself, and let me know how it goes for you guys. Leave a comment, or just at me on Twitter. As for the surprise trades, I got myself a random number generator and rolled 5 numbers, which were 21, 10, 26, 1, and 16. So I traded away Bergmite, Dragapult, Grimer, Tarantula, and Qfant. And that's where the story ends. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like the video and subscribe by hitting the button with your big toe. Alright, bye bye.